Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kashidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Maha Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatra Dharana Paraha Anarpita Charin Shirat Tarunayavatirna Kalau Samarpayitum Unnatojvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Gyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spurato Vashachi Nandana Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jagat Mangala Advaita Mangala Gunadham Mangala Charitra Sada Mangala Jarana.
Hare Krishna. We'd like to welcome all of our YouTube Live listeners, our dear listeners over Facebook Live, and all of our wonderful and dear listeners who have joined us over Zoom. We welcome all of you to this day 59 of Sri Gauramrita. Before we proceed, we'd like to announce and congratulate the participants of the quiz session from day 58. We'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Anju Agarwalji, Mother Flavia, and Nutan Purohit Mataji. Thank you all so much for participating in this quiz session. And as we said, we encourage all our listeners to participate in these quizzes as much as you can to the best of your ability. You can send your answers to these quiz sessions to any of our admins, or you can choose to reply over the YouTube or the Facebook videos of those particular days. So please do participate in the quiz sessions.
So today in session 59, we will continue to describe the transcendental treasure trove of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotional pastimes. We'll discuss how the residents of Katwa go crazy over Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Sannyasa initiation, Lord Gaura Hari's intense mood of separation from the Gopis and his manifesting of deep loving ecstasy, and then the shaving of Lord Gaura's beautiful hair. And then we'll conclude today's session by describing the all-important Phala Stuti, the benefits that we receive by listening to these transcendental pastimes of Sri Gaura Hari. In the last session, we heard how the residents and the devotees of Nadia, they suffer a heartbreak at Lord Gauranga's decision to leave Nadia to take sannyas. And then he left from the Nidoya Ghat. How the Lord then came to Katwa, he swam across Ganga starting from the Nidoya Ghat or the merciless Ghat of Nadia.
So in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in Madhya Leela, chapter 1. So we are officially also starting the Madhya Leela. We've completed the Adi Leela. As we all know, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is categorized into 3 sections. One is the Adi Leela, then second is the Madhya Leela, and the final pastimes of the Lord. The later years pastimes of the Lord are described in the Antya Leela of this great work done by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So we have the Adi Leela, as we all know, we described all the childhood and the youthful pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And now the Madhya Leela, it is starting with the sannyas pastime of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Now we must remember that these Gauramrita sessions, what we are trying to do as a service is that we are trying to combine the Chaitanya Bhagavata, which is written by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. We are combining the teachings that are given by Srila Lochan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Mangala. And we are also referring to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is written by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. So all these three literatures that are available to us by the Goswami Acharyas, we are referring for these Gauramrita classes. And that is the reason why we are calling it Gauramrita. Because we know that Srila Lochan Das Thakur describes only up to the Sannyas Leela. Then after those Leelas, he doesn't go into much detail. Same with Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat. It does not go into much details after the Sannyas pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. However, it is, and therefore, because the youthful and the childhood pastimes are described in these two books of Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Mangala, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami didn't describe it that detailed way in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So how all these three books, they complement each other, and how they are, what the other book doesn't have, the other ones have. So somehow we have tried to collect all the nectar from everywhere and trying to give everyone a culmination of this entire work of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life given to us by these three authors. So from today, we officially mark the beginning of the Madhya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, as is given to us by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami and wonderfully written by Srila Prabhupada, the enlightening purports by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So in Madhya Leela in chapter 1, text 16, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami describes
at the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magha, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, the Lord accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas.
So now we'll continue. Today's day 59. So Srila Lochan Das Thakur in his Sri Chaitanya Mangala very vividly describes what was the state of mind of the residents of Katwa when they saw, when they were seeing and witnessing the epitome of ecstasy that was displayed by Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So let us see what Sri Lochan Das Thakur says about the residents of Katwa.
So everyone in Katwa, be it old men, be it women, be it children, blind, invalid, even if they're scholars or fools, they just ran to look at the all-attractive form of Sri Gaura Hari. Some women, they carried water pots on their laps. Others were just standing motionless because they were captivated by the mystifying beauty of the Lord. They were drinking the beauty of the Lord, nectar of the beauty of the Lord from their eyes. And then Keshav Bharati Goswami, the residents of Katwa, were criticizing Keshav Bharati Goswami for giving sannyas to such a handsome young man. Everyone was praising how fortunate would be that mother who gave birth to such a remarkable son who has matchless beauty.
And the residents were thinking to themselves, how fortunate is the mother of Sri Gaura Hari, Srimati Sati Devi, who is as glorious as Mother Yashoda, who is the famous and the blessed mother of Lord Sri Krishna himself. Whoever has got Sri Gaura Hari as, her husband is the most fortunate woman in all the three worlds, this Vishnu Priya Devi. How fortunate she is that she has received Lord Gauranga as her husband. So no one could take their eyes off of this indescribably attractive form of Sri Gaura Sundar. And they were thinking in their minds that how could we tolerate in our hearts Said, how is such a great personality, such a handsome, young man? Generally, people take sannyas at later ages, not at such a young age of 24. So they were just weeping and weeping and crying loudly. And it is said that even the demigods were crying, witnessing the tearful, pastime that was about to unfold. Every demigod, all the devatas were present, invisible to everyone else, but they were nonetheless present during this ceremony to witness the sannyas ceremony of the Supreme Personality of God. Just now there was a mention that how Mother Yashoda is so glorious because she has Krishna as her little baby, as her little child. And today, on this most auspicious day of Mahashivaratri, we wish all of our wonderful listeners a very, very happy Shivaratri.
Happy Mahaprabhu to everyone. It may not be exactly today, but
In many places, yes. So today over here, we are celebrating Mahashivaratri. We know in India it was probably yesterday. So nonetheless, this is the week of Lord Shiva. So we all know how Lord Shiva, when he heard that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has descended as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, himself has come as the darling son of Mother Yashoda. He had the desire, the asha, or the desire to go and see baby Krishna, because baby Krishna is a commodity, is a personality who is not available to see in the spiritual world. There Krishna is in his youthful form. We cannot see the cute little baby Krishna. We cannot see him there. It's only during the Bhauma Leela pastime that the Lord manifests as a transcendental child, little blue child. So Lord Shiva, having the desire, the asha, the desire to see Krishna in his childhood form, he came as a mendicant. He disguised himself as a mendicant. And he came and he said, Alak Niranjan, come, Mother Yashoda, I want to see your Lala. Please bring your Lala out. And Mother Yashoda, she was a little frightened. Seeing Lord Shiva, even though he was dressed as a mendicant, he had all these snakes that were going around him. And she said, oh, my Lala's going to get so scared. My little child will be so scared seeing this, mystic personality. No, I won't take him out to this sadhu. I won't take him out. But then Lord Shiva was almost crying. And because of that desire of Lord Shiva, Krishna inspired Mother Yashoda to carry him out and bring him to the audience of Lord Shiva. And Krishna, because Mother Yashoda was forced to bring Krishna out. Why? Because Krishna was crying loudly and he would not stop. So to, pacify her child, she was just, patting him on his back and, bringing him out. And that's how she just brought him out. And there stood Lord Shiva dressed as a mendicant. And then as soon as Krishna, he saw Lord Shiva, who is his greatest and most faithful devotee, Krishna was immediately pacified. He immediately started smiling. And the Lord Shiva was so blissful to see and witness this beautiful young baby Krishna. So from that day, Lord Shiva, in that form, near Gokul, he is manifest as Asheshwar Mahadev. Until today, near Nandagaon actually, this temple comes of Asheshwar Mahadev, that he came with the desire, with the asha, to see baby Krishna, and his desire was fulfilled by the Lord, Asheshwar Mahadev. Similarly, even in Gaura Katha, Gaura Leela, when Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu was manifesting his pastimes here in Navadvip, Lord Shiva, he could not stay in Kailash. He said he started taking Nandi and he was wanting to come down to listen to Gaura Katha being described. But then Nandi was too small. He was coming boom, 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 boom. He was very slow. Nandi is, Lord Shiva's bull carrier. He was fat, plumpy, and he was taking time to come. And Lord Shiva said, "My God, Nandi, you're taking too long." So then Lord Shiva, he made a request, a mental request to Lord Brahma, that may I borrow your vahana, your carrier. And who is Lord Brahma's carrier? Is the swan, the Hamsa. So then Lord Brahma very willingly gave his carrier to Lord Shiva on loan. And Lord Shiva just sat on the Hamsa, and Hamsa, the swan, flew down to Navadvip. So till today in Navadvip, Lord Shiva, he is present in this little village near Godrum Dvip in Navadvip. He is present there as Hamsa Vahan Shiva. And he is as if he's gliding down. So his head is all the way back because he's gliding down on the swan and very eager to listen to Gaura Katha. So this is Param Vaishnav Shiva Shambhu Mahadev, who is so eager to listen. You see, such devatas, they have shown us by their own example that how we need to be eager to listen to the pastimes of the Lord. They have shown by their own example. So thus today on this auspicious occasion of Mahashivaratri, we pray to Param Vaishnav Shiva Shambhu Mahadev that may he also grant us this benediction, that we be blessed with this eagerness to hear, to serve, and to also see the Lord, that the Lord will be pleased to show himself to us by the power of our devotion, by the sincerity of our devotion, just like Lord Shiva. So following in the footsteps of Lord Shiva, we pray to him to bless us.
Very well. So this was in the context of the demigods were actually, they had come and they were crying along with all the residents of Katwa. And what was the Lord doing? The Lord's body seemed to float in the water of ecstatic love when he was with the ecstasy and excitement of being able to fulfill his mission by taking sannyas, fulfill his mission. He could see that hundreds and thousands of people all over the world are taking the holy name of the Lord as a result of the example set by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord then began to dance and cry out loudly, and there were millions and millions of people gathered there. No one knew from where all these millions of people descended onto the small plot of land, Katwa. And with unblinking eyes, they were all drinking the nectarian beauty of the Lord's form. And the flow of tears from Lord's eyes could not be described even by Ananta Shesh, who is describing the glories of the Lord with his thousands of foods every day. Even he could not describe, is what Sri Chaitanya, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, as the Lord danced in a circle, his tears bathed everyone. Last time we had heard how the tears of ecstasy come out as spears and syringes, and it was soaking everyone with the tears of love of God of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Everyone, man, woman, young, old, everyone was chanting Hari Hari, Hari Hari. Sometimes the Lord was shivering, sometimes he was perspiring, sometimes he just fell unconscious, and people were just mesmerized seeing the Lord fall to the ground in deep ecstasy. And this ecstasy was as soft, because the Lord's heart was as soft as water. One time, Srila Prabhupada, he was walking in the New York City. It was very cold and it was ice everywhere, but Prabhupada never stopped his morning walk. He still would wake up in the morning and go for a morning walk, and some of his disciples would go behind him. And Srila Prabhupada, he would walk so fast that his young disciples could not keep up with this 70-year-old man. Srila Prabhupada. But still Srila Prabhupada would walk, and sometimes he would just stop and with his stick just puncture the ice, the ice layer that was formed, and that would the ice layer would burst, and then water would come out of it. Then Srila Prabhupada would walk, and he would again do the same thing, poke his stick onto the ice layer, it would puncture it, and then water would come out. And after a few times when Srila Prabhupada did this, one of his disciples who was following Srila Prabhupada asked Prabhupada, may I ask you a quick question? Prabhupada said, yes. He said, I was just wondering that I've been observing that you're going and time and again you're poking your stick at a soft layer of ice, at a layer of ice which is hard in the top, and then as soon as you do that, boom, water comes out of it. What would be the reason that you would do that? Srila Prabhupada said, that is the duty of the spiritual master. And the devotee was duty of the spiritual master to break ice to get water out of it? He said that Srila Prabhupada said the layer of ice, the hard layer of ice, is like the hard heart of a disciple who needs to be purified. And the duty of the spiritual master is to apply a bit of pressure so that the love of God, of the water of love of God comes out, his heart becomes soft and soft like water of love of God. So that is the duty of the spiritual master, to transform the hard heart of the disciple into the soft heart of love of God, so that the already existing love of God within comes out. Just like already existing water beneath that hard layer of ice, it's already there. It's not coming out on its own. It's not transferred. It's actually being manifested. So that is the duty of the spiritual master. And that's exactly how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart being so soft and melting in ecstasy, was jumping and dancing and drowning the people of Katwa around him in soaking them with tears of ecstasy. Then he took straw in his teeth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's the proprietor of unlimited universes. He is taking a straw in his teeth and begging everyone for the service of Lord Krishna. Taking straw in the teeth is equivalent of equating one like an ass who does not know anything, and in the sense of expressing one's humility. To please, I am taking straw in my teeth. I am a fool. But still I'm begging you, please take up the service of Lord Krishna. And seeing the Lord's humility, everyone was crying in grief. How will this person's mother survive? She must have passed away. No one can actually tolerate this. Then what pious activity his wife must have done to obtain him as her husband? And by what misfortune has she lost him now that he's taking sannyas? How will his mother and wife survive if even our hearts are broken? We are not this beautiful young man's relatives. Then how would the mother and wife survive? In this way, everyone was weeping in sorrow, completely bound in the ropes of love for Lord Chaitanya.
And feeling compassionate, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu called them all together, because Gauranga Mahaprabhu could understand. And remember, they were not even, saying this out loud, what the people of Katwa were feeling sorry, and they were feeling so much grief, so much anxiety. They were not saying this out loud, but they were all thinking of this in their heart of hearts. But Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Paramatma in each of their hearts, he could understand their mood, and he called all of them together, and he told them, do not lament. He said, please bless me. so that I may fulfill my desire to dedicate my life to serving the lotus feet of Krishna. So everyone needs to get a proper spiritual master. Mahaprabhu said, Lord Chaitanya said to everyone that everyone needs to get a proper spiritual master. And one's beauty and one's youth should be utilized in the service of the proper spiritual master. Without a master, all of one's talents and qualities are all useless without a spiritual master. So the service of the feet of Krishna and my spiritual master is my only shelter. So all of you, please just bless me. So I just want to serve my beloved spiritual master and the Lord of my life by giving everything that I have. I want to offer it to them. So Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is giving us what the mood of the disciple should be. He is giving us that what is the right mood, that we should all approach the spiritual master. The spiritual master is not another degree or a name that we add to our portfolio. You know, we are disciples of such and such. Who is a great guru? Not a portfolio. It's not a portfolio upgrade that we are doing. No. Spiritual master. He is Sakshat Hari. He is directly the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is the transparent via media through whom we can actually access the mercy of Krishna. Without the spiritual master, we do not get anything to do with Krishna. How do we serve the spiritual master? It is, of course, explained by Krishna in the Gita, Tadvidhi Pranipatena, Pariprashnena Sevaya, Upadekshanti Te Jnanam, Jnaninas Tattvadarshana. Krishna says that yes, we must approach the spiritual master with humility, and we must ask him appropriate questions so that we can, and because the self-realized soul, they're knowledgeable, they can give us the knowledge how we can come closer to Krishna. That is the duty of the spiritual master. So in this regard, a very wonderful story is being told. There was once a disciple who was very sincere. Whatever the guru would say, he would follow. Pakka disciple. Whatever the guru would say, he would do that. So one day the guru said, okay, my dear disciple, we are going to go on a journey. So pack everything that we need for the journey. So the disciple said, yes, Guru Maharaj, I will pack everything very nicely. And then the guru set up, the disciple had packed up everything, put everything on the horse. And then, the guru sat on the horse, and then they all set up. They went on the journey. They started the journey. And when they started the journey, after some time, the guru started feeling thirsty. So when the guru was thirsty, he said, oh, my disciple, please, can you give me some water? I'm feeling very thirsty. So then the disciple said, oh, Guru Maharaj, I had brought the water bottle. I packed the water bottle, but a little while ago, it fell down. It fell down a little while ago. So then Guru Maharaj said, then why did you not pick it up? He said, oh, I am your sincere disciple. You didn't tell me to pick it up, so I didn't pick it up. I let it go. He said, oh, I forgot the category you are in. Okay. So now I'm instructing you, my dear disciple, whatever falls from the horse, you pick it up. Okay? He said, okay, Guru Maharaj, I am your sincere disciple. I will follow whatever you said. They started going again. Then after some time, the horse answered nature's call. So nicely the disciple picked up all the stool of the horse. Nicely on a plate, he picked it up and he came in front of the Guru. And the Guru Maharaj, here you are. Please accept this offering. And the Guru said, take it away. What are you doing? And they said, you told me that whatever falls from the horse, I must pick it up and give it to you. So here, this fell from the horse. I'm giving it to you. So he said, okay. I forgot. You are a special category disciple. So I have to give you very specific instructions. So, okay, now these are the things that are there that we are carrying. And if any of these things fall, you must pick it up. He said, okay, Guru Maharaj, done. I understood. Whatever from this list will fall, I will pick it up. Promise, I will follow your instructions. So then they were going down a little hill. When they were going down a little hill, then, the horse just started going very fast and the Guru fell down. But when the Guru fell down, the disciple kept walking. And then the Guru said, hey, my disciple, pick me up, pick me up. And he looked at the list. He said, my Guru Maharaj, you're not on this list. How can I pick you up? You're not on the list. So do we want to be this kind of disciple? We should not want to be this kind of disciple. An expert disciple is such a person who understands the mood of the spiritual master. And knowing the mood of the spiritual master, they actually, even before the Guru even tells anything, such a disciple is able to act on the desire of the spiritual master. That is how expert and disciple Srila Prabhupada is. Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj didn't have to say so many things to Srila Prabhupada, but just giving a general instruction, Srila Prabhupada understood the mood of his Guru Maharaj and he executed it exactly to the way that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would want. That is the mood that we need to follow. That is the standard that Srila Prabhupada has set. And that is the standard that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu has set. That as a perfect disciple, he's saying that my only desire is that I want to serve my Guru Maharaj, because I know if I serve my Guru Maharaj properly and please him, that Krishna will be pleased.
And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was praying to all the assembled devotees of Katwa that please bless me that I can take Krishna as my only shelter and serve as a good disciple. And then Lord Gauranga offered his obeisances to Sri Keshav Bharati and smiled and begged him for sannyas again. And after some time, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu controlled himself and sat down surrounded by his associates. If you recall, last time we discussed how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had first initiated Keshav Bharati Das Goswami and then accepted it, and then requested. Now, Keshav Bharati was absorbed in an ocean of bliss after seeing these devotional sentiments that were displayed by the Lord. He himself then offered prayers to the Lord, and he said, my dear Gauranga, Nimai Pandit, the devotion that I've seen with my eyes today, it's not found except for in the Lord himself. Now I have understood that you alone, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, are the spiritual master of the entire world. Therefore, no one is qualified to become your guru. I think that in order to teach the people in general, you will accept me as your guru. The next day, Gaura Hari followed the orders of his guru in performing all the rituals of taking sannyas, and the Vaishnavas, they just shook in fear. They bit the edge of their garments like this. They were like so much anxiety.
Why?
Because they were seeing the head shaving of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
So the way Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur and Srila Lochan Das Thakur, both of them, in their Chaitanya Bhagavad and their Chaitanya Mangala, they describe this, heart-wrenching pastime of Lord Chaitanya shaving his hair. It is said that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the life of all this, he sat down to have his head shaved. However, the barber who came to shave Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his name is Madhu. Madhu is the name of the barber. And at that time, when he came to shave Lord Chaitanya's hair, he was the barber. That's his job. That's his livelihood. But he could not believe that he has to shave the head of this personality. The barber hesitated to shave the beautiful locks of hair of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. and he began to cry profusely. The devotees headed by Sri Nityananda Ram, even Lord Nityananda, he was crying and weeping and wailing, and they were rolling on the ground. Lord Nityananda, he was not able to tolerate this, that Lord Chaitanya is going to be shaving his beautiful locks of hair. So what to speak of the devotees? Even the people in general, they began to cry in grief.
And one person said, who has invented this system of sannyas? And everyone was like, sighing so deeply and hidden from the view of everyone else. All the demigods who had descended to see this beautiful ceremony also cried. And the entire world was filled with the sound of crying. It seemed like that. And such was the compassion that was shown by Sri Gaura Chandra, that even dry wood or stone could melt. And what is the proof of that? This pastime. This pastime was displayed for the deliverance of the living entities, and the weeping was the evidence that everyone was being delivered.
So this is such a beautiful statement, that the evidence that the Lord's chanting the names of the Lord can actually have the potency to melt even stone and wood, is that everyone, not just devotees, even the stone-hearted people of non-devotees, they were also crying and weeping. This is the potency of the holy name.
Sri Gaura Chandra was very much agitated by the mellows of love. He was constantly shedding tears, his body was trembling, and then suddenly the Lord got up and started dancing and continuously chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And this was all happening while his hair was being shaved. You can understand that the the problem in which Madhu the barber was. The Lord was just being in ecstasy while his hair is being shaved. And Mukunda was singing the kirtan. And as he was singing the kirtan, the Lord was just not able to control himself. He was not able to remain steady even while sitting. Even while sitting, he was kind of dancing. And due to his ecstatic love, he trembled, tears flowed from his eyes. And then the Lord shouted, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. This barber Madhu was just unable to do his work because his eyes, Madhu Barber's eyes, were filled with tears and he was unable to see what he was trying to shave. And then Mahaprabhu requested him, please don't use scissors, use razor on my hair. And then Sri Madhu, the barber, he did the work of shaving the Lord's beautiful hair from his head. And then he cried out in anguish, oh, alas, I have completed the ceremony. What have I done? What have I caused? And he just fell unconscious on the earth. This is Madhu the barber. And as he fell unconscious, the barber, a great uproar of weeping and wailing just filled all the directions. No one could console the residents of Katwa. Such a pitiful sight. Men, women, children, they were unable to speak. Even the birds in the trees also fell silent after they saw this pitiful sight.
And finally, at the end of this day, Sri Gaura Sundara's captivating hair was completely shaved, and the tears of Madhu the barber, he was uncontrollably feeling so much anxiety that he just threw off his razors into the Ganges, and he vowed that he will never ever use this razor again. He said, I give up my profession. I cannot shave anybody anymore. And he just cursed his profession that why am I a barber? Why did I have to be in this position to be a barber? That it induced him because of his profession. He had to be and perform such a ghastly offense, he felt, that he had to shave off the beautiful hair of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And it is said that from that day onwards, Madhu Napit, Napit means barber in Bengali. So Madhu Napit became Madhu Moira. Moira means a sweet maker. That because Mahaprabhu, he touched the body of Mahaprabhu, so he was filled with sweetness. So it is said that from that day, Madhu the barber became Madhu Napit. He ended his life, and Madhu Moira, he came and he started his new profession as a sweet maker. And he spent his days meditating upon the blissful form of Sri Gaura Sundara.
So we end the pastime here, and simply by hearing this pastime of Lord Gauranga's shaving his divine hair, let's listen carefully. What happens? It is said that one becomes capable of removing, of shaving all the weeds that grow in our heart along with the bhakti creeper. When we perform devotional service, the bhakti lata bij starts growing into the bhakti lata. And along with that, there are many other weeds come up, which look exactly like the bhakti lata. The weeds of lust and anger and pride and greed and attachment and envy and illusion. And we require a spiritual master in the association of devotees to identify which is the actual bhakti lata, so that we can root out, shave away the other creepers. By listening to this pastime, we get that capability to identify which is the correct bhakti lata that we should not uproot, but uproot the other weeds which look exactly like it. In fact, it said Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are being performed even now. And whoever is blessed by the Lord to see can see, but others cannot see. Adyapi halila koren Shri Gaurarai kono kono bhagavan dekhi bare pai eikhane rodilo grantha amrita lahari badan bhore ekbar bolo hari 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 hari.
So today, remembering Mukunda, while he was singing such beautiful nectarian kirtan during the shaving ceremony of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we'll try to also follow in the footsteps of Sri Mukunda, and let's see if we can recreate that same atmosphere sitting in Gauranga Gari in Katwa, and we can try to recreate that move of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu shaving his beautiful locks of hair for the benefit of the people in general.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Deshitari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Before we open up the lines, we will announce the quiz session for today.
First, what are the three sections of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Second, why the residents of Katwa were criticizing Keshav Bharati.
Third, at what age did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas?
Fourth, what is the desire of Lord Shiva?
Fifth, what is the duty of the spiritual master?
Sixth, who is the perfect disciple?
Seventh, name the barber who shaved Lord Chaitanya's hair.
Eighth, what is the Stuti of listening to these transcendental pastimes? So thank you so much, dearest Ranjani Gopika, for these wonderful quiz questions. We are so grateful to you for this wonderful service. So now we'll open up the lines.
Questions?
Garima, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhu Chaitanya Pranama Krishna Shri. So I love Shiva Ratri class and I love the stories of Shiva and a lot of more things I heard, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is gonna take sannyas. And I actually read some of that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think, and then it was like, cannot believe that. Everyone is so sad.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so Mataji, I have a question. When Shiva said that, can I please borrow your swan, like your carrier? So he still has it, right? Like that's a deity, right, of him, right? So deity is the actual Shiva, so he is still not given him, and he's never going to give him back. And so how's Shiva riding on a swan, and Shiva has the swan? So what is Nandi doing, and how's Nandi going to live? And Shiva is still having it. So is it like taking it, or it's like boarding it, and like what's going to happen?
Very wonderful question, Vita. Yes. Well, Lord Shiva, he is, it is said that he is residing in Godrumdvip eternally to listen to Gaura Katha. So he came riding on Hamsa, on the swan carrier, and it is said that it was borrowed, it was on loan from Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, like the Hamsa just dropped Lord Shiva and went back straight to Lord Brahma. That's what it is explained.
And then Nandi was
coming anyways.
at his
So
own
Nandi
pace.
caught up and he is come now and he's residing at Godrumdvip now with Lord Shiva. So,
But not
but
is there a deity? I think you told there's a deity of swan on
yes,
Shiva, on the
yes,
sun.
there is.
So,
There is. That just depicts Lord Shiva's arrival into Godrumdvip.
oh, so that doesn't mean that's the actual Shiva, right? Like,
Well,
or
it's
it's the
manifested.
actual Shiva.
Those deities are manifested with
Manifested.
the same potency. It's a self-manifested deity. No one carved those deities, but Mother Nature herself actually was so appreciative of Lord Shiva's eagerness that this Swayambhu Murti, which is self-manifested deity, came, and this self-manifested deity, you can see Shiva, the Shiva's image there, and there is the uh,
Hamsa.
Hamsa's image, and Lord Shiva is almost like lying down because it's coming so fast down that he has to really lie down to keep pace with it.
Yeah,
At
it's
the
all
back.
the pressure.
Right, right. So that deity is there, like Krishna's deity is there in the temple, is there in our homes, depending on ye yathamam prapadyante. As we surrender, depending on our faith, the Krishna manifests in the deity as the deity. But if but just because the deity is there doesn't mean Krishna is not there in the spiritual world. Krishna is there as the deity as well as he is there in the spiritual world. So Lord Shiva and the swan are there as the deity,
Yeah,
depending, and they manifest their potency depending on the faith.
for that time, right?
Right.
That's not for
And,
now.
but they are also there in, they're doing their thing. It's not that they got frozen there as the deity. Uh, and now they're not doing anything. Swan went back, Lord Shiva went back on his Nandi later, but that pastime is manifesting there, and it
Showed how the
manifests
pastime
depending on
happened.
the faith of the devotee. What's that?
It's just like to show how the pastime, like how the pastime happened.
Right,
Like,
right.
okay, thank you.
Very nice question.
But
Vivek.
Lord Shiva and the swan are there. The deity, they are there as the deity also. It's not like it's just a representation, but they are there as the deity. Like Krishna can manifest simultaneously in multiple places. Similarly, Lord Shiva and the swan are also able to manifest and reciprocate with the devotees, depending on their faith.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
Thank you, Bacha. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I also have another question. Like when we go to the Shiva temples, can we eat little Shiva prasad because he's a Vaishnav?
Um,
It depends on our mood. If we are, see, Lord Shiva is a devotee, so whatever is offered to him, he first offers it to Krishna. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, and then we accept it. But when we accept the Mahaprasad, we uh, thank Lord Shiva that you are in the mood in which we are accepting it. That's how the prasad will affect. We accept it. You are the greatest devotee of the Lord. So this is not just Vishnu or Krishna's Mahaprasad, but it is the Mahaprasad of a devotee like yourself. So it's the consciousness in which we accept it. When we think of Lord Shiva as his Krishna's devotee, and in that way we accept the Mahaprasad, then it's perfect. But if we accept the Mahaprasad thinking he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that may not have the desired effect.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mataji.
Bacha. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Anjali, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Wishing you all a very, very happy Mahashivratri. Though we celebrated in India yesterday and had beautiful darshan. And as you said, very true, that he was the Param Bhakt of Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. So it is like, like Tattva Gyani and Param Bhakt. So such a huge devotee. I have a question today, and actually, just first let me see my share my realization. मतलब वो कहते हैं ना कि सोच के ही ऐसे लगता है संन्यास and shaving the thing, like the thought, and then when we hearing these pastimes, I said it's so heartbreaking. Like like it's how the people that time really looking at it, what would have happened to them was like you can't even imagine कि क्या है ये सब. And I have it, as you said, that we have to serve our spiritual masters and the guru. That is the main thing. And sometimes, like, still I wonder कि उतनी भगवत कृपा नहीं हुई या भगवान की, I don't know. Still, I always feel like Krishna is my main guru, but I don't know how to put it in the words. So, like I have not still not been blessed by the thing to take initiation or anything. So how, like, I feel that vacuum in my heart sometimes. So could you just enlighten me on that? I just don't know how to do it.
Well, we must listen to some of the discourses or the lectures that are given by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada and see who inspires us the most. Whose words inspire us the most. That person is our guru. It's a heart-to-heart relationship. So Krishna will inspire us from within our heart that to choose when the time is right, that he will inspire us. He will show us that he is your guru. He is your eternal spiritual master. So Krishna will show, and all we have to do is just continue to chant and continue to follow the path, be in the association of the devotees. And as long as we are doing that, we should just listen to some, kathas, some lectures by, these great Vaishnavas. And once we do that, sorry.
Yeah, and also on that point, if you can listen to Srila Prabhupada's lectures, and if you hear more and more Srila Prabhupada's lectures, and if you listen to other Swamis' lectures, it'll become very clear who is inspiring you like Srila Prabhupada inspires you.
Mm.
Whose lectures do you find close to what you hear from Srila Prabhupada? Because ultimately, Srila Prabhupada is the ultimate Shiksha Guru. And so first start by listening to Srila Prabhupada's lectures. They're very small, 30 minutes lectures,
Sometimes
and
20 minutes.
sometimes 20 minutes, but you will understand the mood of Srila Prabhupada. And then whoever inspires you in that mood of Srila Prabhupada, whichever living guru, when you hear their lectures, then that is the one who you can choose.
Krishna will guide you at the right time. Don't be anxious about it.
But first try to develop faith in Srila Prabhupada by hearing his lectures. Then everything else will fall in place. Prabhupada will guide you as to who
On
you're
that,
doing.
yeah, for me, like I have I've heard Srila Prabhupada's lecture also, Bhagavad Gita also. So it was my Bhagavad Gita teacher who inspires me a lot, and she was a really like uplifting me or guiding me a lot. And after that, your association. So when I ever close my eyes and I ask Krishna, so आप दोनों का चेहरा मेरे सामने आता है. So I just don't know what to do. I hear so many lectures, but what I can connect with both of you, I just can't connect with anyone else. So what should I do in that?
Well, just continue to listen to Srila Prabhupada and whoever is inspiring you. Continue to listen, and one day you will see you will have found your guru. You will. That's a guarantee.
Faith and
So
patience.
So I feel that you are my guru. So that, and I'm just going with that. My Bhagavad Gita teacher and you both are my gurus, and really it just uplifts me. Like for every morning, and I'm able to say so many things. I just do it. So I don't know. I've just left it on Krishna. Till then, he
Yes,
was my
leave
guru,
it to
and now
Krishna.
the thing, leave it to him.
Yes, leave it to Krishna. We are there to assist you in your spiritual journey, and we are there to hold your hand. We are there to just, we are right behind you. right by your side. And you'll see that in this journey, we will find a guru for you. We will find. You will meet your spiritual master very soon.
But listen to Srila Prabhupada's lectures a little more, and that will give more clarity on the topic of Guru. He has given some Hindi lectures also.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada has, so if you feel more comfortable, you can hear his Hindi lectures, English lectures.
They're all available on YouTube. So just listen at least one lecture, 20-minute lecture by Srila Prabhupada. At least
Sure,
once a
I'll
day.
do it. Just keep on
Thank you,
guiding me
sister.
like this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Haribol.
you. Haribol.
Hare.
Anyone else? Any other realizations? Questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare
Wish you
Krishna,
happy
Prabhu.
Mahashivratri. Wishes to you
Hare
both.
Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much for your session, and thank you so much for your outstanding bhajan as well. Prabhuji, you used today different tone, different tune, right? Different meter. See, I'm listening the first time, but the way you both sing now, it is outstanding. It's very nectar to us, and we feel the separation in the song, which you felt out, right? And thank you so much for giving so many life lessons in today's session, like how perfect is able to serve spiritual master, and the duty of the spiritual master, right, is to elevate us. We need to melt us as soft as water, so which we learned from you both today, and we will also follow it, Prabhuji. And the wonderful answer you gave, right, to Garima, like how to accept prasadam of Lord Shivaji. So here we will also follow that. So we'll think that he is first offering to Lord Vishnu, and I mean Krishna, and then we are accepting in the mode, same mode as a devotee, right? So many life lessons you're giving nowadays. Really, I'm not able to write anything. I keep on listening by but I'm not able to write. Again, I have to listen your video and I have to make a note of it in my notebooks. So there is no question related to session, Mataji and Prabhuji. But I have one thing, like while ending the session, right? Eke Gila Grantha, before that, one more verse you're singing now. What does that mean? I don't know that one. Apologize if you explained already. Please let me know. I missed it maybe.
No worries.
It says, Adyapiha Lila Koren Shri Gaura Rai, Kono Kono Bhagyavan Dekhi Bare Pai, which means that Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are being performed even now. And
Okay.
whoever is blessed by the Lord to see those pastimes can see those pastimes, but those who are not blessed cannot see.
Okay,
So
Prabhuji.
before we sing this verse, I tell the
Meaning.
translation
Yes.
first,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then we sing that verse. So the translation is before. Maybe we should say the translation later so it makes more sense.
Yeah. No problem, Prabhuji. And thank you so much for the session
And you
as well.
said about the point that you're not able to remember, you try to take notes, you hear. The best way to remember is to share this with others. So if whatever
Sure.
you want to
Sure.
remember, if you
Yeah.
can tell one of your friends or your relatives or someone in an excited way, hey, you know what? This is some realization that I heard and I really like this realization. And then you share that with someone, it'll bring much more clarity and will stay with you for longer. Of course, you should take notes also. That's a very good idea. But
Right.
along with taking notes, if you share, it will stick faster and you will receive mercy from Lord Chaitanya also because you are sharing his glory.
Yeah, sure. Sure, Prabhuji and Mataji. Even one of my dear friend, he's a devotee also. He said, like, how you are getting this bhava and all. I told because of this Prabhuji and Mataji. He said that when can I meet, whether I can join the session. I told that he'll be at 6 o'clock. Will you able to join 6:30? No, he is doing a second shift to Prabhuji and Mataji. After 12 o'clock, he'll be working. That's why he's not able to join at the session. And he said that please ask permission to both of them whether I can talk to them through WhatsApp or not. So I said like I'll ask them. I'll
We'd
ask
love
them. Yeah,
to. We'd love
yeah,
to.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
he
So
can listen to the video later if
You
he
yeah,
is
can,
not able
definitely,
to
bro.
you
join.
can get him to join one of the WhatsApp groups, and that
Yeah,
way he can get the links to hear the
yeah, definitely.
sessions later on.
Yeah, I'll share to him, Prabhuji and Mataji. I'll share to him.
And
Anyway,
we'd love
thank
to
you so
speak to him. Anything we can do, we are always there for you.
happy to hear. I think he will also feel the same. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. And with Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments or realizations? If not, we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Krishna Sharanam Prabhupada ki. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji.
Thank you, Rupika. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Kamakshi Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.